Hi, it's me, Ashley, Autoimmune Warriors. I am back at you with another video today, and today we are going to talk about my top 8 favorite book series. I just want to clarify right from the get-go, these are not my favorite books, they're my favorite book series. And I'd like to make a difference because there's books that I love, but there's like one of them. I'm going to focus on my top 8 series. And you might see me glance down from time to time because we know me in memory. So I have written down the number of books in every series and the author. Although I might not need that one. We'll see. So let's start the countdown. Number 1, Harry Potter. I am doing Harry Potter Spirit Week right now on my Instagram, which is at Autoimmune Warriors, and we're having a lot of fun. There's a giveaway. I don't know if I've ever actually explained what I do, but my day job normally is custom making, custom printing. And so if you win my giveaway, then you will win a 11-ounce Morph mug, custom done Harry Potter inspired Morph mug. I already said that, but yeah, that's what it is. So that's fun. So hop on over to my Instagram and participate in that. It's going on all week long. And that's why I'm sporting this very, very extreme Ravenclaw inspired look, because it's Tuesday Ravenclaw day and I'm Ravenclaw. So yeah, so there's 7 books. For those of you that don't know, there's 7 books in the Harry Potter series. And that is written by J.K. Rowling, however you're supposed to say that. And I love them. I'm not really going to go into a lot of detail as to what the Harry Potter series is about, because almost everybody knows that, or at least I think they do. But it's basically about an orphaned boy who's a wizard that is raised by humans, non-magical people, and he doesn't know he's a wizard. He finds out at a young age, and it's really about his growth throughout the years of magic school and him defeating a foe. So, Lord Voldemort, bad guy. So that is my number 1 book series, Harry Potter. Number 2 is Fable Haven. Now, most people that I tell that I love the Fable Haven series, most people don't know what that is, and it shocks me because it is such a wonderful series. It is written by Brandon Mull, and there are 5 books. And it's about a brother and sister who go to stay with their grandparents, and it turns out that their grandparents actually run a magical preserve. And basically the entire series, all 5 books, are about this brother and sister duo and these grandparents taking these wild adventures and really diving into the world of magical and mythical things that they didn't know. Now, I will warn you, if you choose to read this book or the series, the first book is, just Fable Haven, but it is a little tiny bit juvenile. It is written for young audiences. But if you can just get past that first book, trust me, everything else after that is wonderful. It's still a great first book, but it's just a little juvenile. It ages up as you go, trust me. Well, that brings me to my 3rd favorite series, Dragon Watch by Brandon Mull. It is the sequel to Fable Haven, and there are currently 4 books. The 4th might not even be out yet, so we're waiting for the 4th book. And it is just as good as the first. It is a continuation of where Fable Haven leaves off. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail because if some people are in the process of reading or want to read, I'm not going to spoil alert it. But it's the same characters, which is wonderful. Same brother and sister duo, same grandparents. They introduce fun new people, and I love them. And it, again, is going deeper into the world of mythicality. It really, really I mean, there's dragons and there's princes and there's fairies and there's unicorns and there's all kinds of mythical creatures. I can't even think of everything right now, but it really goes into detail. And that's why there's so many books, because nothing is rushed. He takes the time to build the story and the plot in the way that it needs to go. No rushing there. And so when you finally get to like the boom of the book, the climax of the story, you're like ready. You're like, yes, that's exactly what I hoped would happen. And sometimes you're shocked. Sometimes you're like, what? So it's a great ride. I love it. And that is my third favorite series. My fourth favorite series is a series, I think it's called the Lunar series, but it's like, I call it the Cinder series. It's Cinder, Scarlet. Oh geez, I should have written them all down. I didn't. But there's 4 books in the Lunar series, and it's written by Marissa Meyer. My bad. I'm trying to do this from memory. And these are so good. So good. How she decided to do this, I don't know where her brain was at. But basically, these are normal fairy tales. Cinder is Cinderella. Scarlet is Little Red Riding Hood. Cress is Rapunzel. And there's one more that I obviously can't think of. But gosh, she takes these stories that we've all grown up with. We've all grown up with Cinderella. We've all grown up with Little Red Riding Hood. And she took this very cool cyborg science fiction twist on it. And I sold. Love it. It's like Star Wars meets the Brothers Grimm. Something like that. It is so cool. It is a great series. And like I said, it's the first one is called Cinder, and it follows the trail of Cinderella, basically. Evil stepmom, stepsisters, the whole 9 yards, prince, but it is done in, I don't want to say post-apocalyptic, because it's more like futuristic. But it is very, very cool. Very cool. And as you go book in, book out to the last book, it is such a rich, informational story. Again, nothing is left out. When you get to the climax of the book, you are so happy because it's just like you've been building up to this point. It's so good. I highly, highly recommend that series. Okay, so my 5th favorite book series is The Hunger Games. I love The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. There are 3 books, and they're so good. And I would actually say out of all these that have been made into a movie, which most of them have, well, no, not most of them, but some of them have, that The Hunger Games is probably the best translation from book to movie. They did a great job. They really, really did. So The Hunger Games is about a girl who grows up impoverished and is plucked from her district and chosen to fight in these games where children from other districts fight to the death to win, fame and glory and all that stuff. And she accidentally starts a revolution. And that book and all the following 2 books are about her story and all of her sort of character, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but the co-characters. I know that's not right, but we're going to go with that. Anyway, or the other characters in the book, they all travel with her through these stories, and it gets better and better and better, and you just fall in love with her, and you ache for her, and you root for her, and it is just, they're just great books. I, again, highly recommend. Okay, my number 6, Twilight. And I know people are going to laugh. I know poor Bella is picked on as a female character so much. But I relate to her deeply. I am a highly emotional creature, and I am obsessively in love with my wife. And if she were to abandon me, I would probably shut down too. Maybe not for as long as she did, but I would definitely take a minute to feel my sorrow. I've said that. Now moving on. So the story of Twilight is Bella, high school student, starts kind of, dating this odd, very attractive young man, finds out he's a vampire. And then the whole rest of the series, which are 4 books, is their love story. It is a love story between Bella and Edward, and thrown in with a little bit of Jacob on the side. And it's a good story. It's not the best, and I more or less love it because it's comforting to me because I know the story so well. I sort of think Edward's a little bit controlling, and I'm not okay with that. But I know where he's coming from, and it's from love. Don't all obsessive men say that. But I do really like the story, minus the controlling Edward. And those are written by Stephanie Meyer. I almost forgot that. 7. This is a very, I would say, unknown series that I love, and it's called Adventures Wanted. This series is about a young man who is trying to find himself and sees a sign in a window, Adventures Wanted. And he goes into this store and he is just taken away on the adventure of a lifetime. And there are 5 books, and they are written by M.L. Foreman, and they are very, very, very good. Unfortunately, the last book was not as good, but that was more or less due to the fact that the writer had a stroke and was trying to write the book in the process. So then he had to write it through like a ghostwriter or through someone else, and it didn't have the same feel. It took forever to get that book out. And I didn't really care for it because it didn't have the same sort of tenor that the other books did. But as far as a whole series, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done and interesting. I mean, I'm a sci-fi fantasy buff. I love it. You could slap sci-fi in just about anything and I would watch it or read it. And I started reading this actually by recommendation of my mom. I drive a lot and I like to listen to audiobooks when I drive. And so that was one of the books she recommended. And I loved it. And again, cool spin on science fiction and fantasy. Things that I've never heard of before happen in this book. And this young man, he goes for, 5 books worth of adventures, and there are neat characters and what's the word? I'm sorry, I'm trying to search for a word and talk, and my brain can't do both. Anyway, moving on. It's a great book series, highly recommend it, M.L. Foreman. And my 8th and final book series I would recommend, and this is like a half recommendation, is the Ironface series. I personally am only on book 2 out of 8. There are 8 books in this series, and I have read 2. I am beginning the 3rd. So far, I enjoy it. Do I love it? No. Do I enjoy it? Is it pleasurable in the background when I need noise and I just want to focus and work? Yes. That is how I read a lot of my books, is I put them on audio or audiobook, and then I will work, or like I said, I print and work. How many other ways can I say that? Anyway, it's a good story. It's about a girl who was raised in the human world and finds out she's not exactly human. And she finds out in a really, in my opinion, aggressive way. Like, I don't know if I would have started the book quite so aggressively, but it jumps like right in. There is no real buildup. You find everything out as she does. It's sort of happening. There's no backstory. which is a little jarring at first because most stories have a little bit of a backstory beforehand. But it did make it for an interesting read because, again, that was not like anything I've read. Well, I forgot to write down who the author of the Ironface series is, but I'm going to insert pictures of all of the book series so you'll see it on the photo. So yeah, basically this girl is finding out who she is, tracking down the people that kidnapped her brother, and just a lot of like self-identifying discoveries are happening throughout this book. It's mostly her journey through this world. Like I said, I've only finished the first 2 books, so I can't speak for the whole series. That's why I said it's like a half of a recommendation. But so far what I've read, I do like. I will continue to read the entire series. So, I mean, it's good enough that I'm not going to stop dead. I have stopped dead in the middle of some series before. With this one, I'm going to continue to read to completion. It was good. So yeah, so those are my top 8 favorite book series. And if you guys would like to hear a list of my favorite like individual books, just give this a like and I will do that. And then comment below any book series that you recommend because I love to read. And if you want to hear more from me, subscribe, hit the little bell, and I will, or YouTube will notify you of my future videos. All right. I will see you next time. Bye.